pay attention to Elena and her podcast. Never leak it and show it. Gotta pull your own weight if you reap it, you sow it. Yeah, gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food, come to eat with.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, for men in general, like, what is just women. And I wonder this because I'd like to say I know someone who I'm really close to that is like a male chauvinist. And I think it's kind of good to know both sides, because I think that, like how when you say we're just vibing and stuff like that, we're just kicking it. I think that's kind of, I don't want to say male chauvinistic, but I think it's kind of related, like they're neighbors in a sense. You know, I think they kind of live next to each other. Like, and then player lives on the other side of there. Got like all in the same community.
Yeah, right.
You know, and so it's like, how do you, as a man, how does it work? Like, because you know, for us as women, we just full of emotions. We could tell you, you know, early how we feeling. Like, you know what I'm saying? How we feeling about you? Like, even if we're not sure, because sometimes you can be like, oh, how do you know if you really love him? Because you don't know him. You know, you don't really know a person until you've spent years and years and years getting to know them. You'll never know. But that beginning part, like when you get past that vibing and that chilling type of energy, you know, where does it go from there? Is it like a 2-year, 3-year vibing?
I mean, I think the biggest, Adrian, you can correct me with this. I don't think men know how to control their emotions, to give their emotions away, to give themselves away. We don't know how to carry that I like you a lot or be transparent. So when we meet women, we only expose them to a certain type of life that we want them to be exposed to, because we don't want them to get into the other side of us, that we can be a little bit more transparent. They can kind of see the layers of who we are. Mm-hmm. We can kind of start getting naked in front of them. So we hold off women in certain areas. Now, the good women begin to get through those areas.
They hang on and get through that.
And they get through certain areas, and then now they start finding out the real us.
Right.
So we usually really date women, and we don't know them, and they don't know us. Mm-hmm. And then when we say it's official, and we want to connect or get married or live with each other, now we exposed to who you are.
Yes.
And we never even met you.
Yes.
I'm like, I didn't know you did that.
Correct.
Because we don't expose everybody to our lives and our secrets and our desires and our fetishes and all that other stuff. So
yeah,
it's almost a shock when you get into the same house as somebody that you have to live with, how they suck up their nose, or you know what I'm saying, brush their teeth, run the water, take showers, how they vacuum, what they don't like to clean up, you know.
Who the heck you been dating?
And you got to,
I had to live there before, you know. So,
but at the same time too, they got to be ready for what comes with you, and you have to be able to be like, okay, she's gonna see this about me.
Oh, but wait,
you know what I'm saying?
Both ways.
She getting ready to notice about me. Like, I never took my shoes off around her, but now she getting ready to see it. You know what I'm saying? All the time.
I think both men and women are taught to be manipulative in the dating space. Period. I think.
Taught how, Adrian?
So I think we're socialized. We're taught to. We're taught to hide certain parts of ourselves, slow release some aspects, create a particular narrative of who we want to be and how we want to be perceived by the person.
Was that wrong?
But we're taught that from children.
Is that wrong though?
No, I'm not necessarily saying it's wrong, but I think it's misleading. Right? I think it's misleading, and I think ultimately in the long run we don't know how to be honest. Right? Even when we sometimes try. Mm-hmm.
I think that what you're saying goes to when we were children. We're taught to have manners. You know, having manners, to me, is a proper way of excusing natural functions in public or in certain things that we're taught to hide. Mm-hmm. Things that are a certain way that they are, realistically, we're taught to hide those things and pretend like it didn't happen or it doesn't exist, or, you know, so we are taught to do that. We are taught to be self-conscious, confident yet self-conscious. You know what I'm saying? Have pride in yourself, but when you fart,
be humble.
You better not do that in the room with people. You better go outside, or, you know, you don't want people. Or have you ever seen people? Have you ever walked down the aisle inside of a grocery store and walked past and you know somebody, that person that was right there had to have past gas because you didn't do it and you just walked into it. But that person's not going to admit that. They're just going to keep walking, minding their business,
Right.
like they didn't know anything happened. That's how we are as human beings. So quite naturally, we're going to take those characteristics into a relationship with the opposite sex, because certain things about a man that he doesn't really want to, or even personal things he doesn't want to reveal to a woman unless he's really, really close to her and feels like it's something that, she can know,
So it speaks to being emotionally vulnerable
Yes.
and emotionally available. And I think that's challenging for people.
And I think I look at it too as a defensive mechanism.
Absolutely.
That's true.
I give you this information. Now you have to take care of it and protect it. You know what I'm saying? Now you got to protect my feelings and my emotions because I gave you this information.
Correct.
So now you're responsible for how you handle it when you're upset.
Correct.
Because that will hurt me.
Correct.
And I don't know how I respond to things that I let you know if you don't cherish it the right way.
Because I carry myself a certain way.
So if you expose me, that can be that's a whole nother level.
Yeah.
So we stand off because we know what people can do to you.
Yes, that's true.
And
true.
With so much pain going on, with it being a defensive mechanism, that stifles our communication also. So we don't divulge certain things within a relationship or at the beginning of the relationship because of past hurts. If it's happened multiple times, and I know a lot of women deal with it more than men do. So they put up
Deal with what? More than men.
With
past hurts and different
past
stuff,
hurts, so
different
they put
things
up
like
this shield, this defensive mechanism.
Women are hurt more often than men are, is what he's saying.
And we're hurt, but we tend to hide it, or we don't want to expose that hurt.
But men
I don't see women hurt because they cry.
Men are not emotional enough for things to hurt them on a consistent level.
Shoot.
A woman can be hurt by the way a man talks to her on a regular basis because she's just sensitive. You understand? Men are not going to be like that. Adrian, I know where your mind and everything is going right now.
Okay.
I know where it's going right now, and I'm feeling your energy right now, Adrian, but I need you to pipe down. I need you to pipe down because I need you to understand what he means. And you can't deny the fact that before you experience heartbreak or before you experience hurt, you have to imagine that it's different for a woman.
Absolutely. Pain is different for a woman.
Right.
Than man, because we're not a woman, so we would experience pain differently.
Correct.
But we do experience the pain and emotion.
You do, but what I'm saying is,
I don't want to
for
say...
as often as a woman is...
For every hurt woman, there's a hurt man.
Okay. I mean, I have to agree with that.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say is women are not as armored up emotionally as men are.
Do you know how many men get turned down by women that hurts them?
I don't know. Would you say it's hurt or would you just say it's a feeling of rejection?
That's hurt for us.
Okay.
Like when we really like a woman and they don't like us back, that's a sign of hurt.
But
and we take it
really like, define really like though.
Like if we're into somebody, we're into somebody and we're pursuing them, and they don't like us. That affects us. So just as you can cry instantly, or somebody you talk to don't want you the same way, we get that same rejection when we out there trying to find that woman that we like.
Let me jump in real quick.
I'm just saying it's just different levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
let me tell you what happened.
It is.
Let me tell you what happened. Why are you saying what you're saying?
Go ahead, tell me.
Women are emotionally reckless.
I'd like to say emotionally imbalanced, but he says reckless. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm not going to agree with everything he says, but go ahead.
But I'm listening. I'm listening.
Women are permitted to be emotionally
permitted. I love
are socially permitted to be emotionally expressive, and with that permission, they are reckless. Which means they have society. When a woman is spazzing out, that's okay. It's a woman showing her emotions. She's allowed to let her emotions spew as much as she wants because of how someone talked to her, because of something that was done to her. I'm not undermining the legitimacy of her reasons.
Okay.
So we're not talking about that.
Come on.
I'm talking about her ability, how she's permitted to respond.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Men
by the world. Right.
By the world.
Okay.
Men, on the other hand, we've created a rubric of says this is the box that men have to stay in order to maintain his masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
So he is not allowed to be emotionally reckless. By definition of being emotionally reckless, he is deemed feminine. You're acting like a woman. In order to act like a man, you have to be emotionally responsible.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And the misinterpretation of that is that not that men are actually emotionally responsible, they are emotionally suppressive. They suppress their emotions because I can't go spaz out and cry and whine and yell and show and express all of these emotions. Right, hold on. Let me just finish.
Let the doctor finish, because go ahead, doctor.
So what ends up happening is we look at women, and what women have done is women suck up all the air.
Go ahead. He's so
of victimization.
He loves it.
Right?
He loves to know what he knows.
They are allowed to be the only victim all the time. And they overlook the emotions of men. So then we get to say, well, men don't hurt the same way women do. It's not that men don't hurt the same way women do. Men are not allowed to be as expressive about how they hurt the same way women are allowed to be expressive. So that's why you have this outward expression by women and this inner battle that men are fighting, and it comes out in toxic masculinity. It comes out in violence. It comes out in mental health. And now we're saying, oh man, men need to go get help. Why they need to go get help? Because they were never allowed.
It's the man.
They were never allowed to be taught how to be emotionally responsible. So we actually have not people who are centered. And when I say centered, an emotionally mature person who knows how to balance themselves, who knows how to process their thoughts, who knows how to show up and maintain a certain level of equilibrium. No, we have women on one extreme and men on the other extreme being suppressed and being expressive. And none of it is for the better of it. But we keep on trying to say, oh, well, this is how women are. This is how men are. And I think all of that is incorrect.
Okay.
I'm going to try to say this slow.
Okay.
Because he dropped some nuggets.
Go ahead.
But I have two things. First of all, women, I have 2 points, so y'all can bear with me. Women, their body changes. They have a monthly that changes.
Please talk. Go ahead. I'm leaving. Okay, pay attention.
Their
go
emotion.
Ahead, doctor.
They carry children that changes their
emotion.
Oh,
Jesus.
They carry
I'm being biased.
A lot of different emotions that
I'm just he hitting me with his words.
Go ahead.
I'm being electrocuted right now.
That men don't have the opportunity to even understand how that affects them, right? Secondly, if a woman don't cry, right, and they's tough, then we will say that you too tough to even be with me. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody a little bit more softer, right? Secondly, I think that God is amazing, right? He created us in different ways so we can balance each other.
Okay.
So, and I know Adrian's going to go against this. You have the alpha male and you have a woman. Now, if you take away socialization and stuff like that, it's easy to say that a man could just beat up a woman anytime he wants, right? So the skill set that woman has is to get into our emotion by showing their emotion to bring us down, to affect us in a way, because they don't have the strength to overpower us. So they have to use other abilities through emotion, through softness, through other skill sets that makes them a woman. So if you take that away, you know what I'm saying?
You're still talking about.
Now, do y'all understand why I say I'm in a sandwich? So, because I agree with both of them.
So if a man if you're saying that a man can't express themselves the way, that's fine and dandy. But you got to understand what women are up against and how their survival mechanisms kick in to get us to understand and be submissive to them, to be more protective of them, because they feel that we need to protect them. Now, society has created financial structures that may seem like a woman can take care of themselves and do it, but they all are needed. When they're outside walking by themselves and they by their man, they're not going to grab their wallet. They're going to grab their man and be like, hey, we're in an environment in a place that I'm unfamiliar and I want you to protect me.
Can I use that?
Hold on, let me just say this, Adrian.
Go ahead.
Moses made a post on Facebook a month or so back about Sierra and the husband, Russell.
Russell Wilson.
And he made a very valid point about how, Russell allowed for her to be a woman, which allowed for him to be, a man.
Mm-hmm.
And which I thought was a very valid point, and it was really good and strong. But then on another note, I let someone who is a male chauvinist read that particular post and say, oh man, you know what I'm saying? That's just a man who pretty much, and thinks that Russell also is not allowing for himself to be 100% a man because he's allowing this woman to just shine and he just pretty much take the back seat. So for men who think like that, because you had a very valid point, and I think that a lot of us or men would think differently or feel differently if the energy was different. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like men are forced to have this masculine type of mentality, which agrees with what you, the beer drinking, standing on the corner, talking trash, waiting on the women to walk by. These macho mentalities that they've tried to place in men from the very beginning, the Al Bundy mentality that they say men should have, how do we get men to, because I think a balance of what you believe and what Moses is saying is what we need to combine in order for things to, but you're never going to have any one man thinking all, that way at the same time. I wonder how we can fix it.
I agree with Moses.
What?
So,
what?
You almost choked.
You caught your guard, Moses.
Is it recorded?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, we got this one.
Turn it off.
I just want to make sure I heard it.
See, edit that part.
Please edit that out. Okay? That was supposed to happen.
Correct.
I agree with him in understanding how we need each other. Right. So I heard you say, or how I process what you said is, this is why a woman needs a man, because this is what she's up against in a world that's going to make her emotional. Right?
No,
that's what you heard him say?
That's not what.
No.
You say that she's financial because of the financial institutions.
That was the ending part.
But the beginning part was him expressing that even the design of a woman is totally different than a man, which allows for all these things that you're saying is what's so, allowed by society. He's just saying, because she's built differently, because her body is different.
Yeah. I still agree with that.
Yeah, because she has to endure
She has to get what she wants a different way. She can't force it by force.
Right.
Men are bullies.
Right.
Women sit down, and if they want to do that in the household, sometimes they do that, and it becomes abuse. You know what I mean?
Right.
What we call abuse. So it's laws in place. Not saying that men don't be abused, but women are abused by men that use their authority. And
what kind of woman are you wanting for your wife? Like, because with the Russell Westbrook, what's his name? Russell Westbrook. Not Russell Westbrook. You dope though. You dope. You's a dope too though, bro. But Wilson is who I'm referring to. What type of wife are you looking for? Since that's something that you congratulate.
Man, I like that. I mean, I don't mind support my woman. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's sexy. Listen to a woman perform and sing, and then she come on to you. Mm-hmm. And you.
But she ain't hardly performing that much.
But I'm just saying, like,
not in these COVID streets.
Not these days. Not these days.
If he wants to express his love to his wife, and that's his love language, by all means, who am I to get into their relationship? Because half of these Negroes that's talking about this ain't in no healthy relationship anyway. Mm-hmm. So let this man be great. Let us promote black love. Let us promote our sisters. Like, we rarely get that. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
We rarely get it. Now, some people's like, well, we do it all the time behind closed doors, but you're not a public figure to change the image of what the perspective are in America. Like, Barack Obama was a black president. Man, that's big for the eyes that we see. Now, was he the first black politician? No, but the fact that he's a black figure with a black wife that he loved, it changes the identity of how we view things. You know what I'm saying? Now it is, we can do this.
Right.
But go ahead, Adrian.
Right.
I was going to say, I agree with what you're saying, either you're talking about her biology as a makeup,
Yes.
or the social institutions that she has to respond to in life.
Both.
Right? So I agree with both. Okay? So I still maintain my point that what you were talking about are the reasons why she has to, you're identifying what she has to respond to in the world that makes her emotional, including her being built the way that she's built. But the next part of that, though, is one thing to say, well, these are the reasons that you're faced with. And the next step is, this is how you manage that properly, right? To build an effective person and to build effective relationships. And both sides need that.
Right.
Because
Agreed.
the other extreme of men being closed off, macho, and having hypermasculinity is destructive in our society, like you're pointing out.
I agree.
So he has to learn how that balance has to work. Now, if it's a matter of biologically she's on her cycle, there's estrogen, it makes her more emotional. Yeah, he has to learn how to be able to
Estrogen.
manage right her in that particular space. She has to also learn how to say, I'm not going to use this space to be, and this is why I say be emotionally irresponsible, right? Because I'm on my period, I can do anything I want. Now, that's just being emotionally irresponsible.
That's reckless. Like,
Right, that's reckless.
We can't give them that.
Right, that's
but
what I'm
we
saying.
understand that they do change.
I absolutely agree with you, right? So I think the balance I think, Yelena, you were saying, well, where do we find the balance is both of us understanding each other a lot better. I think men need to learn to be more open to being emotionally expressive,
Right.
understanding, and vulnerable. And women need to learn how to not be as emotionally reckless because they're permitted to express their emotions a lot more than men are.
All right. And on that note, we are going to get into the question session. I have some questions
I have more for
these-
Adrian.
I got some questions for y'all.
I even wanted to expound some more.
I got some questions for y'all right after this. We coming back. Eat with the Poet. You guys, do not forget to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe and like and follow me. I need your comments. I need you to give me your testimonies. I need to talk to you. I want to connect with you. We are staying together on this journey. You understand? And we are back. And Bell don't never stop recording. He better stop playing with me. Catching me on my bad side. You got to catch me on my cute side, Bell. I'm still here with these menses, and I'm going to bring a few questions to the table, because I know I did, but I'm going to bring my questions about the topic today, which was dating outside of your race. And I just kind of want to know, what they think and how they feel about that. So the first thing I want to ask, and any of you guys can answer that question, have you ever dated outside your race? And if you have, what race was it?
You starting on this side?
I don't care.
I'll start.
Okay, go ahead.
I've talked to a girl outside of my race.
What race was it?
White.
A white girl.
I liked
Caucasian.
it. I actually liked it. The fun.
You finna get in trouble.
Wait, you had fun dating a Caucasian?
Yeah, but I was embarrassed to take her out and go places, so I knew it wasn't going to work. But everything else surrounding it was.
But why were you embarrassed to take her out?
I mean, it just
was she
so
cute?
strong. Yeah,
she was
If
beautiful.
I'm gonna talk to a white person, she got to be on top of the line.
Y'all better comment and
Top
subscribe and
top
chime
shelf.
in.
Top
You
shelf.
can't get Conscious Moses out here with a white girl. But it just goes. It just goes against everything that I was stood for, and my stance in the community. So
you couldn't never marry a white woman?
no.
Have you dated outside your race?
Yes, I have.
What race was she?
White, Hispanic.
Oh, so you dated a few outside.
Yeah, I have.
What are you naturally
This is
more
a regular.
attracted to?
This is a regular.
What are you naturally more attracted to, Keenan?
I'm attracted to just a beautiful woman.
But you dated more black women than...
Yeah, definitely more black women than any other race. But
It's hard to talk to her. It's hard.
if the woman is attractive and meets the standards that I envision, like they envision, then if we can click, then
Does she kiss like a black woman? Is it different?
No.
Does it taste different? Does her mouth taste different than a black one? No, I'm just asking. I want to know.
Does it taste? No.
I always never, Adrian, listen to me.
Yes.
I've never dated a white man because I felt
He
like
said yes.
The hair smell is different.
that's what I'm saying.
Well,
I felt like
yes,
kissing a white man
that
is
is true.
taste different.
That is true.
Is their lips different? Do they
I mean, the
lips?
lips are not really different, but
Yeah.
you can.
But like, does their breath taste different?
No.
There
Bad
is
breath
certain-
is bad
no.
breath. Bad breath is
That's
bad
what
breath.
El Michelle said.
Exactly. So
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I feel
There's
like,
some black people I don't want to kiss.
oh my God. No, I'm just saying the lips, like the texture of the lips have to be different because the skin is different. The DNA is different.
no, it don't matter what color it is. If it's soft, it's soft.
I thought they were human beings you were talking about.
Adrian, have you dated outside of your race?
No, I haven't.
You've only ever dated black girls.
Yes.
Have you been attracted to any women outside your race?
Yes.
But you never tried it, and why?
So, I
Moses
went out.
said it goes against everything.
Well, technically, I went out once with this wife.
With a
Young
white
lady.
woman?
Yeah.
Why did he hesitate?
Never
He didn't know if
so-
he was going to say
so he-
white
I don't
lady
know.
or not. He was like,
Yeah,
I went out
so-
once
yeah,
with
so-
this white.
I went out once. I
Lady.
mean, if that's, I don't know how we define dating. So
Yeah,
I mean, we went
how
out
are you
on one.
defining dating?
I mean, yeah, because I
Dating
didn't.
meaning seeing someone consistently.
Exclusively?
Yeah,
I mean, do you mean like
No,
sexually involved?
Yeah.
I'm
like
saying,
the real
I'm looking
deal.
at dating exclusively. Like we committed to each other. No, I
Yeah,
never
like
did
you
that.
can say you've
You
what
were
they call it,
interested.
smack bellies.
You were interested, and you had something going on. I mean, I went out. Man, this was so long time ago. I'm 40 years old now. This was like when I was 25 or something.
Okay.
Right? So
Okay.
that's been a long time. But other than that, no.
But you ain't never forget that because you remember.
Well, you asked
I mean,
the
how can you
question.
forget that?
That's what I'm saying. That was the one experience he had.
Yeah.
Never went back home.
No, actually, it wasn't a bad experience. In fact, to be absolutely open with you,
Mm-hmm.
I was reluctant to dating her because I was concerned about the racial difference. But I actually regret that I felt like that because she was a dope young lady.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I passed up an opportunity because I made the race an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She was
Same
really
with me.
feeling me, and I was like, you know what? I think I should have given that an opportunity. Not to say that it would have matriculated into anything more,
Right.
but I didn't even give it a chance
Right.
because I was like, I don't know how this is going to play out.
So you think you're naturally drawn to black women, regardless? Like if it's choosing, give me black for the choosing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's been more cemented for me getting older. I probably,
Right.
if I was in now, I don't know, man. I gotta stick with what you know.
Yeah. No, I get it. You just know home, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what's in this room, even if it's been renovated and rearranged when you went off and came back. You know home.
Yeah.
It just feels like home, right?
Well,
What'd you say, Bo?
If you're talking about what it feels like at home, like where I was raised and where I went to school.
Home, like this home.
Oh, okay.
This home.
Okay, because I was around a mix of different
Mm-hmm.
cultures.
So you grew up
Yeah.
with diverse
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's why you was the one who dated more than one at this table. Hold on 1 second. And I have another question for you guys. So Moses kind of said that he thinks that was one of his best dating experiences,
I
right?
didn't say one of my best. I said it was cool. It's cool.
Adrian has said that he didn't really give it that much of a chance, and Keenan has said it was cool. It's like any other girl, right? Different, but not so much. But yeah, kind of. All right. Has anybody had any bad dating experience? Have you had a bad dating experience with anyone outside your race or something? Have you experienced negative with someone outside your race that made you be like, that's why I would never date a white girl, never date
Nope.
nothing? So it's pretty easy for you guys when it comes to women?
What I can say
You said
is
outside your race, right?
Mm-hmm.
what I can say is a woman is a woman, And if they're devious, the skin color has no bearing on it. If they're devious regardless of what their social background is or what their skin color
I believe
is.
That. So this is what I want to ask. And any of you kings can take that question. Keena kind of answered it just now. But what advice can you give someone who is looking to date, but is not sure about taking a risk with someone outside of their race? They want to try something different than, how would you advise them?
Can we? I don't know. Because I have no experience in it, right?
But you're so educated.
Right, but I think, so do you mind if I kind of adjust the question a little bit? I think the political issue is more resounding about being outside of your race. So, Dr. Umar Johnson says that you, as a black person, you can't fight that fight, the good fight for the black community, if you're married to someone from another race. Because when push comes to shove, if they have to choose, right,
gotta pick a side.
They're going to pick their white background more likely than choose your black heritage. I do think there is some truth to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they're not white people who are woke and who understand. That's a totally different conversation.
Right.
But I think in terms of being in a relationship, when these issues hop off around race, a black couple understands the plight of black people in their togetherness, I think, a lot more effectively than does a biracial couple.
You agree
or
with that,
interracial
Moses?
couple.
No.
What's
I
your
don't agree with Dr. Umar on that. My best friend in college was black, and he dating nothing but white girls. One of my close friends who was on the national championship team with me is black, and he dating nothing but white girls. The kids that I talk to now, he's in the NFL, he dates nothing but white girls. And they're more passionate about the people than a lot of the people. They do more for our community than some of the people that's in the community. He's vocal about social issues and racism. He speaks about it. Now, I can't say if both of them are going to be on the front line doing it, but I know he's on the front line doing it. So I don't think that takes away your stance of blackness, you know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you're still black. Right. Regardless if you have a white girl at home, you're going to be still treated the same, and you're going to carry the same emotion. A white girl at home is not going to say, hey, you can't be mad at that because we're a white couple, we're a black and white. Like, no.
Well, I just think that...
But some couples have experience.
Right, and I just think that what you're talking about is a very, very, very small percentage. So you'll find that here and there, like little droplets of
But those people that date
like
outside
that.
of their race don't even identify with black people anyway. Those people that
until they have a
what's that school that,
experience.
Right. So
what's the school
until
that
they have an awful
they
experience.
had the shooting? The one that had the shooting.
Marjorie.
Parkland. So Parkland, they have a different
Stone
culture.
Douglas,
Stone
yeah.
Douglas, they have a different culture of blacks out there. They're wealthy, rich. They don't really associate with the inner city or even understand the identity of what we go through. So they're not even connected to us anyway. You know what I mean? So
and they will be more prone to date.
They will date
outside their race.
Anyway, So that proves my point though. Like,
But even if they dated a black, they will date a black person in the same element or in the same, like you said, date in
so it's a class issue.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's classism.
It's definitely a class
and
issue.
social
Versus races, being a racist is classism.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I believe. And athletes go out to white girls because they feel like they the only ones that have money.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they don't want them just for their money, which is absurd.
They only.
But the perspective of their daddy own this, they got this. The black girl I got to take care of, and I ain't trying to take care of them, but I don't got to take care of her because she got her own. That's all they say.
Right.
She got her own.
Even though technically they still do take care of her. The behavior is exactly the same. They still take care of them.
But
in their identity,
the mindset, they're white, they
man.
go to a Division I school, they're not on scholarship.
It has been amazing. And we're going to get ready to get out of here. Y'all stay tuned for the next episode. Eat with the Poet. Cool people. Take us out of here.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Peace to all the queens. Stuff like that. Tapping in.
I need everybody to tap in.
Cool people.
Everybody to tap in.
Eat with a poet.
Subscribe.
Never leak it or show it.
Shout out
Gotta
to
pull
Elena.
your own weight. If you reap it, you sow it. Come eat with a poet. Gotta plant it and grow it. Drop that artificial food. Come and eat with a poet. Kicking words with the poets, I get lyrical.
Yeah.
Physical is great, my journey now is spiritual. Peace to the queens in the nation and foreign. I would like to introduce you to Elena the poet. Stayed down in the jungle like some bare feet. Now when we toast, ace of spade, no more bare feet. Poking beans, Dane County, yeah, I'm still hood. Spread love, feed the homeless cause it feels good. Now pay attention, this is knowledge of wealth. Throw the school books away, this is knowledge of self. Quiet is kept, listen, this the Revolution broadcast. Now pay attention to Elena and her podcast. Never leak it and show it. Gotta pull your own weight if you reap it.